am Ronald Roopnarine. I am a senior lecturer in Agri-Environmental Disaster Risk Resilience at the University of the West Indies. I am also the network manager of Caribbean WaterNet and a steering committee member of numerous scientific communities, national state agency committees and regional organizations. Well, climate smart agriculture is a relatively new concept that was introduced to assist in building resilience. Essentially, climate smart agriculture is different from traditional agricultural practices in the sense that it focuses more on building resilience and looking at also mitigation and sustainability. Traditional agricultural practices would have been highly focused on productivity alone and not necessarily about the impacts on the environment or building resilience to climate change or any sort of natural hazard. So that is the fundamental difference, where climate smart agriculture focuses on building resilient agricultural systems that can cope with a changing climate, but at the same time be sustainable and ensure some level of productivity. Well, resilience is really your ability to withstand any sort of hazard. So the more resilient a system is, it means it's better able to cope with any challenges or adverse conditions that it is forced to deal with. So for instance, if you have increases in temperature, but you have a better or more resilient system, it would reduce the impacts on your productivity. If you have a situation where there is limited water or water scarcity or drought, which is a climatic issue that we may face and likely to face in future, it would be important to have systems or agricultural systems that can cope with reduced moisture or limited water availability. I would say that it's on its way up because there's lots of capacity building activities across from the ministry, from NGOs, from the university as well, trying to introduce this concept so that it will be adopted at a larger scale throughout the population because of the importance of increasing our resilience to natural hazards and our food security issues and so on. However, I think much more can also be done in terms of continuing to build capacity, providing incentives, policy directions, leading persons towards understanding why this is important and ensuring that they have the support in terms of the capacity building, the financial resources, as well as in some cases in the infrastructure to do so. In fact, it may be more beneficial to small farmers than large-scale farmers, and for the most part, a lot of our farmers across the region are smallholder farmers. The importance is that they want to build, or they should want to build resilient systems, because as a small farmer, that's your livelihood. And in order to build that resilience, you need to employ climate smart techniques. And if you employ climate smart techniques and you do so successfully with the proper guidance, policy initiatives, etc., it will make your system more resilient and more sustainable and ensure that you have some livelihood that you could gain out of your farming practices, even if we face environmental challenges. The limited budget is a tricky thing, right? Because any sort of changes to a system requires some sort of financial inputs. So my advice to farmers who really want to build climate resilient systems is to start small, seek advice from the relevant ministries, the university, from various organizations that promote climate smart agriculture. They may also want to explore the opportunities that exist in terms of accessing grants locally and internationally that supports the establishment of climate smart agriculture, and also, learn from others. So there are a couple of persons who have employed climate smart agriculture across Trinidad and Tobago, and their experiences is something that they could draw upon in order to understand how to improve their own systems. and farmers themselves, in terms of simple knowledge, like you tried a new technique, it's always good to share with others. I mean, at the end of the day, these things create challenges at times, but sharing information and building upon the experiences of others would be quite useful in progressing climate smart initiatives across the country. So the private sector plays a critical role in my mind, because they have resources that could be used to support farmers in building climate resilient initiatives. At the same time, in terms of corporate and social responsibility, when you contribute to activities that reduce global warming or greenhouse gases, it adds to your carbon credits, which creates a situation where we could employ principles of the circular economy and have our private sector working very closely with our farmers and the agricultural sector in general. In addition to that, the agricultural sector is very close to the environmental sector. Many people separate the two, but at the same time, they should not be separated, because agriculture and the environment are technically inseparable. Whatever you do in agriculture affects the environment, and whatever you do in the environment affects the agricultural sector. So with the involvement of private sector organizations to help and to assist with building climate resilient initiatives, it also helps the environment and ultimately helps the entire country going forward in terms of our ability to manage water resources, integrated water resources management, land management, and so on and so forth. So initiatives such as this, with this climate smart agriculture course that is accessible to all, it's free, it's online, it provides an opportunity to build capacity, which gives persons the necessary knowledge that they need to implement these practices on the ground. I fully support initiatives such as this by the ministry in order to promote climate smart agriculture and other things that may be necessary to progress our agricultural sector. And I think this would be quite a useful tool in terms of improving agricultural resilience to climate hazards, which we are surely going to face in future.